Turn on your light, turn on your light. When I'm too lost in the ocean, drowned in emotions. You are the oxygen I breathe, set me in motion, and I'm frozen. You are the oxygen I breathe. You are the oxygen I breathe. You are the oxygen I breathe. Ooh. Teach me to dive into the blue. Ooh. Stay by my side when I'm too lost in the ocean, drowned in emotions. You are the oxygen I breathe, set me in motion, and I'm frozen. You are the oxygen I breathe. You are the oxygen I breathe. You are the oxygen I breathe.
I woke up in a forest where beauty surrounds me. I screamed in a chorus with angels around me. Talked in the monsters that play in the garden, a place where I hide from the world. Cool water surrounds me where I lie. Blue shadows are dancing by my side. Oh, na 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 na. I set myself free in a place you can't see. Na 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 na. Don't worry about me, no, I'm just catching a dream. No, I'm just catching a dream. No, I'm just catching a dream. I'm tired of real life, it's starting to scare me. I turn to my mind to be my sanctuary, passing the time until I can get back to the place where I hide from it all. Cool waters surround me where I lie. Blue shadows are dancing by my side. Oh, na 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 na. I set myself free in a place you can't see. Na 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 na. Don't worry about me, no, I'm just catching a dream. No, I'm just catching a dream. I don't wanna leave you in the morning. I have a lot of things to say right now. Have you ever felt insecure? I don't want this to end right now. And I just wanna know if you care about us. I just need someone who's willing to love me. Will you be there for fall? Would you leave me alone? I need someone who's gonna be by my side. Don't go away. You know I won't wait for anyone else. Tell me you stay. You know I wanna find a way back. I should be laid back and wait for your comeback. I'll wait up for your comeback. Tell me you stay. I'll wait up for your comeback. For your comeback. Do you want a night from worth exploring? I'm asking the same about you. I feel that sometimes life can be boring, but I don't feel like this when I'm around you. And I just wanna know if you care about us. I just need someone who's willing to love me. Will you be there if I fall? Would you leave me alone? I need someone who's gonna be by my side. Don't go away. You know I won't wait for anyone else. Tell me you stay. You know I wanna find a way back. I should be laid back and wait for your comeback. You know I won't wait for anyone else. Tell me you stay. You know I wanna find a way back. I should be laid back and wait for your comeback. I'll wait up for your comeback. Tell me you stay. I'll wait up for your comeback. Hot September air, almost midnight. Can't close my eyes. Wish we could stay here. Taste the ocean, lost in the moment. I don't wanna let go, let go. Can we stay close before we're waking up dead sober? It's the end of summer, and I'm falling for you. Love me forever tonight. Love me forever tonight. It's the end of summer. Can we stay together? Love me forever tonight. Love me forever tonight. It's the end of the summer, but I'm thinking about you. Can we go a bit longer? Never living without you. Forever tonight. Love me forever tonight. It's the end of the summer, but I'm thinking about you. Can we go a bit longer? Never living without you. Forever tonight. It's the end of summer. Cold October air, undercovers, warm here with you, dreaming of next year. Drunk on moonlight, chasing good times. Don't wanna let go, let go. Can we stay close before we're waking up dead sober? It's the end of summer, and I'm falling for you. Love me forever tonight. Love me forever tonight. It's the end of summer.
My bad. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this morning? Good morning, Cornbread.
Good morning, Beans.
How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday morning. Cheers, cheers, everybody. Good morning, Mindy. How are you? I hope you are having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Mama D. I hope you're off to a good morning.
Good morning, Kay. How are you? I hope you are having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Ma. I hope you're having a good morning.
Good morning, Ash. How are you? I hope you are having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Man Bear. I hope you're off to a good morning.
Good morning, Nikki. How are you? I hope you are having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Becca. I hope you're off to a good morning.
Good morning, Jenny. How are you? I hope you are having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Mama Rue. I hope you're off to a good morning.
Good morning, Fabi. How are you? I hope you are having a wonderful morning. I hope everybody's off to a great start to their day. Sorry for the late start. We are 2 minutes out. Yes, 11 the new digs. It's been cool. I gotta get some stuff hung on the wall. I'm gonna work on a few things today. See if I can minimize this noise a little bit.
Minimize.
Minimize. All right, if you have not got your Getting Stoned order in, please do. We got Mindy with Getting, D with Stoned, K with Again, Ma with Ash with My, Man Bear with Only, and Nikki with Friends. And if you need homemade fur baby treats made with love, please reach out to Kay or anybody from the Cove Crew. Much love, Kay.
At K9's Kitchen loves the key. Treats for pets made carefully. Every bite is fresh and true. Wholesome goodness just for them to chew. Crunchy bites or soft chews too. Healthy, natural, made to renew. For shiny coats or calming days, K9's Kitchen leads the way. K9's Kitchen, made with care. Love for pets is everywhere. For cats and dogs, the treats they crave. Joyful moments, K9's gave. From every batch, the love will show. Crafted treats that help them grow. Handmade, heartfelt, warm design. K9's Kitchen, one of a kind. K9's Kitchen, pets adore. Healthy treats and so much more. Tasty, caring, warm and right. K9's Kitchen shines so bright.
Much love, Kay. Thank you. Yes, I did move. It's been dope. It's been a long week, but it is 420. Cheers, everybody.
Smoke weed every day.
Cheers, cheers, everybody.
Cheers, cheers.
Good morning, Britt. How are you?
Good morning, Brittany and Jennifer.
I hope you guys are having wonderful mornings. What has everybody got going on for their day? Anybody got anything cool or fun or fancy going on? Yeah, I just kind of work around here. Nothing too crazy. We got some This Day in History coming up here. We do have our morning speaker this morning. No dodgeball today, but it will be a sports-themed morning speaker. We'll find out something cool to do this afternoon. The playoffs for dodgeball start this weekend. Let's go Blazers.
Let's go Ganja Guardians.
You won't play until like next.
Yeah, I know.
You fucking first round buyers. But yeah, I don't know, on Turf Wars tonight. Just gonna work around here, get caught up on some show stuff, and get caught up on some moving stuffs. Do you have any big plans today, Cornbread?
Going to the dispo. That's about it.
Dispoing it up, huh?
Yes.
I wish we could play Duran, but it won't let us. Oh, we're gonna play some reggae though. We'll play a jam and dive into some This Day in History.
Let's go.
Oh, that's kind of funny though. Brittany got a center stage and you're getting stoned to death. That's great. All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Trouble double double, trouble double double. Shoodle up, whoa, shoodle whoa. Swing, and the intercom Rosie tell me to come. So she didn't have a daughter, she did have a son. She said the lift doesn't run up the stairs and come. And if you don't come quick, you're not gonna know that's fun. So I grab a bunch of rose and I started to run. Here I come, whoa. 2 months later, she said, come and get your son. Cause I don't want your baby to come tie me down. Not because you are old and I am young. Yes, while I'm young, yes, I wanna have some fun. Run me down. Shoodly waddle diddly woodly diddly whoa. Swing, I'm broad, I'm broad, I'm broader than Broadway. Yes, I'm broad, I'm broad, I'm broader than Broadway. When you go to Volcano, it's like a stage show. You have man that sing, DJ, and blow. Pull it down, it's ready, yo. Swing, and the intercom Rosie tell me to come. So she didn't have a daughter, she did have a son. She said the lift doesn't run up the stairs and come. And if you don't come quick, you're not gonna see your son. So I grab a bunch of froze and I started to run. Here I come, whoa. 2 months later, she said, come and get your son. Cause I don't want your baby to come tie me down. Cause you are old and I am young. Just while I'm young, yes, I wanna have some fun. Run me down. Shoodly walk, boom, boodly diddly whoa. Swing, extra size, extra size. Extra size than size way. Extra broad, extra broad, extra broader than Broadway. And the intercom Rosie tell me to come. So she didn't have a daughter, she did have a son. Here I come. Shoodly waddle diddly woodly diddly whoa. Swing, cause I'm broad, I'm broad, I'm broader than Broadway. Yes, I'm broad, I'm broad, I'm broad.
them a vote for we. We should ride little, whoa. See, I know intercom Rosie tell me to come. So she didn't have a daughter, she did have a son. She said the lift doesn't work, run up the stairs and come. Cause if you don't come quick, you're not gonna see your son. So I grab a bunch of roses and I started to run. Here I come. 2 months later, she said, come and get your son. Cause I don't want your baby to come tie me down. That cause you are old and I am young. Yes, while I'm young, yes, I wanna have some fun. Run me down. Should I rock, whoa, swing. Cause I'm broad, I'm broader than Broadway. I'm broad, I'm broader than Broadway. Over the ocean and over the sea, all of the girls them are vote for we. Here I come,
Hey, good morning, Bree. How are you? I hope you were having a wonderful Thursday morning. Yeah, Morgan's been all crazy this morning. You can come say hi, you're gonna be a rudo. Oh my gosh. I don't know where to put things yet. We're figuring that out, huh? What up, pup? You're getting used to things, huh? Oh. You're silly. What's your thoughts? Like that. Oh, you're gonna fall. Alright. Down she goes. Crazy. She's getting used to it. It's on a second story, so she's getting the rhythm of the stairs down slowly, but she's getting it down. But she's adjusting. She adjusts pretty well. She's been all over this damn country with me. A bit there. A few times. All right, Vicki B. What do you got for us this morning? Whoa, easy now. I don't know where that one went. We're still trying to figure out our fetch game. Right. All right, here we go. Much love, Vicki B.
Welcome back. Today's word is about the nature of everything in life. We'll talk about a remarkable explorer who survived incredible odds and difficulties. We'll have a nod to past elections. We have a composer and a piece of his music and a quote. So grab your favorite cuppa, settle in, and let's have a look. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for November 6th. November 6th is the 310th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 311th in leap years, with 55 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is transitory. Transitory is an adjective that means not permanent, brief, of short duration, tending to pass away, not persistent, temporary. Example sentences could include, their happiness was transitory, fading as quickly as it had come, or youth is a transitory stage between childhood and adulthood, or the beauty of the sunset may be transitory, but it leaves a lasting impression. The word transitory comes to us from Middle English, Anglo-French before that, Latin before that. First known use of the word transitory is in the 1300s. Transitory. And with that, on November 6, 1528, Spanish conquistador Alvar Núñez Cabeza de Vaca discovered what would come to be known as the U.S. state of Texas. He and his crew found themselves shipwrecked on a low sandy island off the coast of Texas, starving, dehydrated, and desperate. The first European to set foot on the soil of the future Lone Star State, Cabeza de Vaca's unintentional journey to Texas had come to be a rolling disaster. A series of dire accidents and Indian attacks plagued his expeditions of 300 men as they explored North Florida. The survivors then cobbled together 5 flimsy boats and headed to sea, which will have been the Gulf of Mexico, where they endured vicious storms, severe shortages of food and water, yet more attacks from Indians wherever they put to shore. Now, I just want to say as an aside, this is November, so they're trying to travel through the Gulf of Mexico at a time of year where they are indeed likely to have encountered some pretty heavy weather, because it's still hurricane season. Anyway, with this exploration party, originally of 300, reduced now to about 80 or 90 men, Cabeza de Vaca's motley flotilla finally wrecked on what was probably Galveston Island, just off the coast of Texas. Unfortunately, landing on shore did not end Cabeza de Vaca's trials. Of the 80 or so who had made it that far, only 15 survived the winter. Over the next 4 years, the party barely managed to eke out a tenuous existence by trading with the Indians located in modern-day East Texas. The crew steadily died off from illness, accidents, and attacks until only Cabeza de Vaca and 3 others remained. From the original 300, there were only 4 left. In 1532, the 4 survivors set out on an arduous journey across present-day states of Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. Captured by Karankawa Indians, they lived in virtual slavery for nearly 2 years. Only after Cabeza de Vaca had won the respect of the Karankawa by becoming a skilled medicine man and diplomat did the small band win their freedom. In 1536, the men encountered a party of Spanish slave hunters in what is now the Mexican state of Sinaloa. They made their way to Mexico City, where the tale of their amazing odyssey became famous throughout the colony and in Europe. Despite the many hardships experienced by Cabeza de Vaca and his men during their northern travels, their stories inspired others to intensify exploration of the region that would one day become Texas. This is the birthday of American composer and conductor John Philip Sousa, born November 6, 1854, in Washington, D.C. Nicknamed the American March King, he's best known for composing military marches and helping to develop a musical instrument named after him, the sousaphone. John Philip Sousa composed more than 130 marches, including classics like The Stars and Stripes Forever, Semper Fidelis, and The Washington Post. He came by his interest in music honestly, as his father was a trombonist in the Marine Band. In an effort to keep young John from running away to join a circus band, he enlisted him as an apprentice at age 13, setting the course for his life. Sousa later became the Marine Band's director, leading it for 12 years under 5 U.S. presidents. In 1892, he left to form his own group, the Sousa Band, which went on to perform around the world, playing more than 15,000 concerts. As I mentioned, he also helped design the sousaphone, a big circular brass instrument that wraps around the player, projecting sound forward in parades. When the U.S. entered World War I, John Philip Sousa, who was by then in his 60s, joined the Navy and donated most of his salary to support servicemen. He kept conducting right up to the end, leading a rehearsal of The Stars and Stripes Forever the day before he passed in 1932 at the age of 77. Working right up to the end. Though he's long gone now, his spirit lives on in his music, stirring crowds and marching bands everywhere. John Philip Sousa. Now, elections are typically held in the U.S. in the first week of November. This is one of those between years here, but we'll pause for a moment to recap a few results from the past. Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States on November 6, 1860. A lot of sixes there. 25th President of the United States, William McKinley, was reelected on November 6, 1900, and 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, was reelected on November 6, 1984. In a related item, Jefferson Davis was elected to a 6-year term as the first President of the Confederate States on November 6, 1861. That office was abolished in 1865, though, with the conclusion of the war between the states. And on November 6, 2012, 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama, was reelected to a second term. Y'all be sure and let me know if I missed any. A bit unusual for today's song, we're going to look at one of John Philip Sousa's marches, the Washington Post. It's very likely you've heard it before somewhere or another, and may or may not have known what it was called. Sometimes also called the Washington Post March, this was composed by John Philip Sousa in 1889 and is one of his most popular marches, both in the U.S. and also in other countries. So how does a marching band song come to be named after a newspaper of all things? Well, it is that the Washington Post newspaper had just come under new ownership. Former Postmaster General Frank Hatton and former Ohio Congressman Beriah Wilkins had purchased the paper and were eager to make a splash and promote the paper. So they came up with an idea of an essay contest with an awards ceremony. Looking to go big, they turned to the leader of the United States Marine Band, John Philip Sousa, and asked him to compose a new march for the occasion, and he came through with flying colors, so to speak. The Washington Post March made its debut on June 15, 1889, in a ceremony on the grounds of the Smithsonian Museum with President Benjamin Harrison in attendance. The music took off right away, becoming a sensation not just in America but across Europe. Apparently there was a dance called the two-step that was very popular, and the Washington Post March became the signature tune for this dance, earning Sousa a nickname that would follow him for the rest of his life and beyond, the March King. By the way, the young winners of the aforementioned essay contest were awarded in that June 15th ceremony gold medals designed by local jewelers Galt and Brothers, each one handcrafted with its own unique engraving. I understand Galt's is still in business, specializing in bespoke jewelry in precious metals and gemstones. The Washington Post March by John Philip Sousa. How about that? For today's quote, let's take one from the late motivational speaker Zig Ziglar, who said, "You are what you are because of what goes into your mind." Zig Ziglar. Alrighty, y'all take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time. 111th in year. Okay, one more time. Or however many times it takes. And a hearty and grateful shout out to these lovely folks who've bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to add your name to that list, there is a link in the description where you too can buy me a coffee. All righty. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlists in the description. You can find me on BitChute, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and X, as well as on a blog page called No Really. No Really. No Really. Consider following my Day in History page on Facebook if you're on Facebook. I also have a Patreon account now, or you can buy me a coffee. All those links are in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.
Much love, Vicki B. Thank you so much for this day in history every morning. We super duper appreciate it. Please make sure that you are following her on all of the platforms that she mentioned. Check out her Buy Me a Coffee. Buy her a coffee. I got coffee. Sure. Good morning, Saxon. How are you, brother? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I love the this day in history every day. I'm very interesting song of the day pick, but I'm excited. If you don't like marching bands, I'm sorry, we'll play another song after this one. Just stick around. But I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good marching band?
Touché.
All right, cheers, everybody. Super slacking this morning, Gee. I'm just kidding. That's dope. I enjoy marching band as shit. I'm a weirdo, but I will listen to marching band music. So, I was in marching band. I played bass drum and snare drum. It's fun. See, like our band teacher was like, he just came out of, like, we were one of his first jobs. He was fresh out of music, teaching school, music school, whatever it was. He was like the dope, hip, young fucking, that's fucking dope. Yeah, I don't know. I loved marching band. It was so much fun. It was, you know, when I was on drumline, and this was like when that was a real popular, fresh, new emerging thing. And so, like, we ruled the roost. We were the cool kids of the band. Like, it was me and 7 other dudes. And 4 bass drums and 4 snare drums, and then. But all right, let's play another song, and we'll see where we're at with our morning. Let's go with some Primus. Cheers, everybody. That wasn't Primus. That was me. This is Primus. Cheers, everybody. Yes, that was definitely Primus. Fucking A. Primus is so ridiculous. Too many puppies.
No, I don't have them anymore.
I like that one. And I like the yell from Winona's Big Brown Beaver. Ah. Yes, it's windy and chilly here this morning, but it looks like a beautiful morning out. So I'm gonna go with "It's a Beautiful Morning." I mean, I know that song. We played that song the other day, I think. So, but still a beautiful morning. We got our morning speaker coming up, but I'm just kind of jamming. I think we're just kind of jamming. Cornbread, are we jamming?
Yeah.
All right, let's go with some Soundgarden.
Okay.
Cheers, everybody. That's such a dope song. Good morning, Jose.
Good morning, Jose.
Hope you're having a wonderful morning, man. Good morning, Deb.
Good morning, Deb.
And I was going scrolling up. That's dope. Jesus, crazy. It's been like almost a year and a half of COVID-ness. It's been over 2 years of me doing production full time.
Let's go.
Cornbread's coming up on her 6th month of being a part of the production team.
Let's go.
And Kelsey and Magic are coming up on their year mark. It's crazy. Hey, good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, Sandra.
Hope you're having a wonderful morning. It's a ridiculous sunrise this morning. And welcome to the Cove, Jose. Hope you are having a dope Thursday morning. We are live every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, welcome.
We are here getting high and listening to tunes and watching the sunrise, drinking coffee. We do have our morning speaker coming up. I'll probably start looking for that here soonish and then go from there. But play another song, Cornbread?
Yes.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That's such a dope song. I fucking love that song. Good morning, Mom.
Good morning, Mama Beans.
I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. If you need homemade, made with love for baby treats for your cat or dog or critter, please reach out to the one and only Kay from K9's Kitchen.
At K9's Kitchen loves the key. Treats for pets made carefully. Every bite is fresh and true. Wholesome goodness just for them to chew. Crunchy bites or soft chews too. Healthy, natural, made to renew. For shiny coats or calming days, K9's Kitchen leads the way. K9's Kitchen, made with care. Love for pets is everywhere. For cats and dogs, the treats they crave. Joyful moments, K9's gave. From every batch, the love will show. Crafted treats that help them grow. Handmade, heartfelt, warm design. K9's Kitchen, one of a kind. K9's Kitchen, pets adore. Healthy treats and so much more. Tasty, caring, warm and right. K9's Kitchen shines so bright.
Yes, please reach out to Kay. Reach out to anybody from the Cove Crew if you have any questions on getting your fur baby some homemade treats made with love.
Good morning, Kinley.
Good morning, Kinley. Okay, all right. I do have a good morning speaker picked out for us. It is a sports-themed morning speaker morning. I'll play one more jam and then we'll dive on in. Cheers, everybody.
I don't need a whole lot of money. I don't need a big fine car. I got everything that a man could want. I got more than I could ask for. I don't have to run around. I don't have
Hey, let's go, Kinley. You got this. All right, everybody. This morning we're going to go with a J.J. Watt, Graham Bensinger interview. I really forgot to say his last name. But J.J. Watt is a legend. He's ridiculous defensive tackle, I believe. But defensive lineman, we'll go with that. And this one's going to be kind of weird because it's just like a bunch of little videos, but we'll get right. Hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. Here we go.
Your buddy was telling me that when you lived with him for a while not too long ago, the grocery bills would be $300-400 a week. He's like, this is absurd. How often do you eat?
I eat probably, honestly, I eat probably 7 to 8 times a day. It's about every, I don't know, maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the schedule, but I'm always eating. Like whether it's in between a meeting, in a meeting, immediately before practice, after practice, I'm always eating.
He was telling me for breakfast, you would have every morning half a dozen over easy eggs, oatmeal, and yogurt.
Yeah, my breakfast, I eat 2 breakfasts every morning. I eat probably, on average, about 10, 12 eggs a day. But yeah, for my normal first breakfast in the morning, it's 5 eggs over medium, not over easy. So he got that wrong. 2 pieces of whole wheat toast, oatmeal. I just found this new oatmeal that I really liked. It's a lot healthier than some of the other oatmeals. Yogurt, and then milk, water, and orange juice, and then apple, banana. Yeah.
That's the first breakfast.
Yeah, you got to fuel the machine. You know, I think that's the big misconception is, you can't go on and do a full day of activities with an empty stomach. You have to be able to fuel what you're trying to do.
Tell a little bit about this, what's since become famous box jump, and how high you got him.
Yeah, the first time we ever did the box jump was before my rookie year in the league. I think I was going into the draft and we were training and doing box jumps, and I did 55.5 inches my first time, and that was crazy. Like the whole gym, we all went nuts because that was wild. And then every year that kind of just became the phenomenon. I was like, let's see how high we can get. And I think I went to 57, then 59, and then finally I hit 61 inches, which is 5 feet 1 inches. And it's crazy. The box jump as an actual workout, you really don't need to go any higher than, maybe 42 inches just to get the explosive aspect of it. You don't need the...
Hey, good evening, Face Saul. Hope you've had a wonderful day, man. We're just hanging out, listening to our morning speaker, retired NFL player, J.J. Watt. Hope everybody's having a dope morning. Here we go. Hey, good morning, Box Man. How are you, brother?
Good morning, Face All. Good morning, Box Man.
Here we go.
The extra height because it's the explosion off the ground. But it became something that I could, physically see how high I could get, and you had a quantifiable number to attain.
Right, and this isn't like a running jump. You're right in front of the box.
Yeah. And I think that's, you get a lot of people now that try and send me videos like, look, I beat you. I'm like, no, you didn't. You ran or you took a step. Like, you have to literally be standing completely still and just jump straight up.
What do you remember from when some other random trainer was bragging to you about how he flipped the 1,100-pound tire more times than you did?
I remember, I've known the trainer for a long time, so we were, we always bust each other a little bit.
Okay.
And he was telling me, I think he said he did it 9 times, I want to say. And I was like, oh, 9 times. Like, that's impressive. That's a big tire. Congratulations.
But you aren't really thinking that at the time.
And then I'm thinking, like, okay, I can maybe more than 9 times. And I wanted to outdo him. So I outdid him, and then it became a thing like, okay, let's see how many I can get. And 65 ended up being the number, and that was because Brad wouldn't let me go anymore. So,
Brad being your longtime trainer,
my trainer,
based in Wisconsin.
But I firmly believe I could have done 100 that day.
What role has Brad Arnett played in your life?
Besides my parents, I think that Brad has played probably the biggest role. He took a skinny 15-year-old high school sophomore who was a quarterback, and he taught me mentally, he taught me physically, he mentored me. He was like a brother, a friend, a trainer, like a father, all wrapped into one. And he helped transform me into what I am today. And that's why I still work with him today after 10 years. And that's why I'll always work with him, because he knows me better than I know myself sometimes. And I can go to him with anything, and he is just an absolute master at what he does.
It took a long time for him to attend one of your NFL games,
Yeah.
and I think he was telling me the reasoning was because he just didn't want to get in the way. I'm unsure if you're aware of this, but I was talking to him yesterday, and he got really choked up when telling about how special that moment was for him, the first game, attending, and how you went out of your way to be great to him.
Well, he's always been like a closet emotional guy. Like he's very he's so passionate and he's so committed to what he does. So that's why the emotions run so deep, and that's why our relationship runs so deep. And I think that's why that moment was so special, because that was, I mean, he sees me in the gym every day, and we joke around, we mess around with each other. But when you actually go to a stadium and you see it, what your work did, I think it was pretty special.
What does J.J. Watt look for in women?
Personality. I think for me, the biggest thing is football is going to end someday for me. It won't last forever, and the fame and the fortune, everything kind of goes away. So for me, it's about somebody that I can, sit on the couch with on a Saturday night, order a pizza with, and we can make each other laugh. I think the coolest thing about a relationship when it's truly special is you don't need anybody else to have fun. You can find something in each other. You can find whether it's deep conversation with each other about serious topics, or it's just completely messing around and having a laugh with each other. I think that's so important. It has to be somebody that when those two people make each other better. Like, I want to help enhance her life, and I want her to help enhance my life. And I think when I find that, that's when I'll really know that I have found the one, is somebody that I truly want to spend every single day with, and I can't wait to get home and talk to.
What do you think you've had to sacrifice in your personal life for your career?
In-depth relationships. I think that I wish I got more time to spend with my family and my friends. I wish I could, make everybody's, birthday party, and, having a kid, and everything, graduations and marriages and weddings. I wish I could do everything, but I can't. And I think that's probably the number one thing that I do miss out on is missing big moments in people's lives because of my life. But I look at the flip side of that, and all the cool things that we've gotten to do because of this life, and all the trips, to Ireland that I get to take with my buddies because of this life. So one thing I'll always say is the pros will outweigh the cons 100 times out of the 100 in my life.
To what extent, though, does it feel like to you you've missed out on some of that social stuff?
It doesn't feel, this has always been my goal. Everybody who's known me since high school has known this has been my goal. So I don't feel like I've missed out on that much, because I've done everything to accomplish my goals. This is what I committed to doing. This is the life that I chose. So I'm not going to sit here and say, if I could do it all over again, I would do it differently, because I wouldn't.
Right.
I want to be here. I want to be in the position I'm in, and it's worked.
How hard does it make dating?
Very hard. I don't think it's just my work schedule that makes it hard. I think it's having your salary printed on the front page of the newspaper. I think it's having the whole world watch your every move, and any female you're ever seen with is automatically your girlfriend. I think anything, bringing a girl into this life, and the scrutiny and the criticism that comes with it, no matter how perfect the girl is, people are going to rip her to shreds, because that's the social media world we live in today. I think that you have to be so careful about that. So it's not just on my end, it's about bringing somebody in that can handle that as well.
Let's go, Kinley. Let's go. Okay, here we go.
I understand, I mean, you went through some pretty dark times in the off season and even questioned if you were done.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I think when you're an athlete and you're an elite athlete and you have been able to do whatever you want with your body throughout your whole career, you know, if you want to make a cut, you make a cut. If you want to jump, you jump. If you want to run fast, you run fast. When you've been able to do anything you want, and then that's taken away from you, it makes you question everything. You know, when you have to learn how to walk properly again, when you have to learn how to run again, when you have to learn how to cut again, that makes you question everything about you as a person, everything about you as an athlete. And there were moments where I legitimately did not know if I would physically be able to play football again. And then there were moments where I didn't know if I wanted to play again because of everything that came along with it. But what it gave me was a fresh mindset and a fresh perspective, because every year, you know, it's climbing a mountain, and you know, whether it's winning Defensive Player of the Year, whatever it is, you're at the top of that mountain. So the off season, you go back down the mountain a little bit, but I never let myself go too far down the mountain. So then it was just re-climbing back to the top and maybe a little higher. This time with the surgery, I'm all the way back at the base of the mountain. And I've never had to climb the full mountain really since the beginning of everything. So for me, it's a chance for me to climb the whole mountain again. It's a chance for me to have new challenges, for new, almost like I'm a rookie again, and I get to redo everything that I've ever done and refight every battle I've ever had to fight. And for me, that's exciting. Not that being successful and not that it got easy, but I love a challenge, and my back's against the wall again.
What do you think was the hardest period for him, and how do you think he got over the hump?
I think the hardest period for him would be that he's so used to coming back from something like that quickly and realizing a couple weeks out from the surgery that, wow, this may not be good. Even 3 to 4 weeks out from the surgery, for him to realize that this is going to take way longer than I thought, and this may be something that may be, you know, relatively permanent. My wife and I both commented. You can see in his eyes he was a little scared, and certainly there's nothing that says he's, you know, fully back. He's still going to work hard up until the season, and we're hoping that he'll come back to where he was and everything. But you know, it's just, boy, for a while there, my wife and I looked at each other and said, this is real serious.
How do you encourage your son in a situation like that?
You know, all you can really do is tell him to keep going. It's been really encouraging to see how he's tried to push back through that, and he's really come a long way, so we're encouraged.
When you're questioning if you'll be able to play again, or even if you wanted to play again, take me to that mental space and what you were thinking about at that time.
Well, it was awful. You know, there were complications, so I was only supposed to be in the surgery room for 45 minutes, and I was in there for 2.5 hours because they found more wrong than we thought. I was supposed to be able to walk normally within a couple days, and I couldn't walk normally for weeks. I was supposed to be able to start training again in, you know, a month, and I couldn't train again for longer than that. So it was just a scary time because nothing has ever really gone that wrong for me. Even when I dislocated my elbow and tore all the ligaments in my elbow, I played a game 4 weeks later. With this, I had no control. I couldn't control how fast the surgery took. I couldn't control how fast I healed. So it really messed with my mind. It was the first time that I felt like I couldn't control how I was going to be as an athlete. So it really messed with my head. And I was sitting in a hotel room in Philadelphia for like 10 or 12 days. All you do is lay in that hotel room in pain, and your only job is to try and walk because you're supposed to be able to walk for your rehab, and I couldn't even do that. And so then you start to question everything.
Tell me about one of the calls you made to your trainer, Brad, from that Philadelphia hotel room.
I talked to Brad a few times. I was bad. I mean, I was in a bad place, mentally, physically. I just honestly didn't know if I would be able to come back, because your core is everything in football. I mean, you have to use your core for literally every movement on the field. And I literally couldn't get out of bed by myself. I couldn't walk by myself. I don't think it was necessarily not being able to. I think it was them telling me that I would be okay to walk in a couple days, and then a week goes by and I'm still not walking right.
How difficult was it to surrender to the fact that once you started working out again, you weren't going to immediately be able to do what you were used to?
It was the worst because I mean, I'm a stubborn guy, so I hate admitting things. And so when my workouts started again and I had to do lesser workouts than I normally did to get back to where I was, I hated it. I mean, I wanted to go and do the heavy weights and run the fast sprints and do everything. And they all everybody from Brad to the Texans trainers, just slow down, like we got time. And now I'm back to doing everything I've done before. So I'm glad that we did it that way. I'm glad that they forced me to relax. And I think in the end, this will all be beneficial for me because it gave my body a chance to rest. And it said, hey, you need to take some time, just relax, let your body recover. So I think in the end, it's going to be a really good thing. Now it's just a matter of getting even better than I was before.
How difficult is it to have privacy?
Very difficult. It's extremely difficult, and I'm doing everything I can to try and keep that privacy.
Well, like what are some of the things you have to do now?
I mean, it's a gate on the house to having your address under a different name, to having to go in back doors of restaurants, to having to put your to fly privately, to have everything you do, you have to try and be conscious of it because you don't want to. It's not that I don't want to see fans. I love fans. Like, it's my favorite thing, but there's just things when you have to get something done, you literally can't take the time because you have to get somewhere, you have to be somewhere, you have to do something. So there's nothing better to me than when I get to interact with fans, but there are a few times where I just need that time where I'm supposed to accomplish something, so you have to find ways to do it.
How often would fans show up at your old house?
A couple times a week. They'd show up a couple times a week. Now people drive by my house a couple times a week and they take photos outside the gate and they stop and they look in. And so even when you're private, it's not private,
right.
But you just do the best you can.
Tell about what turned into an annual Halloween, the thing that you had, and then the last year when the neighbors had asked you to shut it down.
Well, I love giving out candy. In my first year in the NFL, I was so excited because, you have a contract and you're making a lot of money, so you can hand out, like, lots of candy to the kids. And
you wouldn't just give, like, little pieces of candy. You'd give, like...
You always remember the house like, when I was a kid, you always remember which house gives out the best candy. Like, the biggest candy bars are king size. So what I did, I went to the store and I bought, how they have, like, the sleeve of fun size, like 8 in one pack. Right. So I bought the whole box of each type of candy, and I just gave out the whole sleeve. I was like, here, just take it all. And
maybe a bad move looking back.
Yeah, looking back, it was awful because all of a sudden, like the second half of the night, I saw the same kids in different costumes. I saw people driving in from out. So my first year was the best because I could keep it, kind of low key. And then the second year got crazy, and by the third year, my neighbors came to me and they're like, hey, I think we should, talk about Halloween. I was like, oh boy. And they didn't want me to do it. So it's absurd. So I agreed. I was like, I won't hand out candy. And it sucked. I really wanted to, but I had my entire neighborhood was like, hey man, like you probably shouldn't do it. I was like, all right. So they literally, my neighborhood has one entrance, one exit. They set up cars to block the entrance to my neighborhood and to block the exit. So nobody was allowed in, nobody was allowed out of my neighborhood. So I told them, all right, I'll leave from 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock. So I left, whatever, it's fine. I come back at 9 o'clock when I said I was gonna come back, and I pull into my neighborhood. I'm probably a mile away from my house at least. And I see all these cars lined up on the side of the road. And I'm like, what, like, is somebody having a party or something? And they just keep going. And I pull up, and literally, people parked their cars for over a mile outside of my neighborhood and walked in, and there was just loads of people outside my house taking pictures of my truck, taking pictures outside. I got to my front door, and there was probably a 4-foot high stack of things that people left, whether it was books or notes. Somebody left a note on the door, and on the back of it was their MapQuest directions from 5 hours away, from north of Dallas. They drove all the way down to get candy at my house. So it's pretty crazy. But that's why, I have the best fans in the world. I'm very lucky.
The strangest fan interaction you've ever had would be what?
It was actually the charity softball game. One year, this woman had me sign her pregnant belly. She was pregnant, and she was like, sign my belly. And I was like, well, that's probably one of the weirdest things I've ever signed. So I signed her belly, and then the next year at the charity softball game, I took a picture with the kid. So that was cool. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I like that one. I thought that was really neat. But there has been a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
How true is it that you still keep a video file of the Texans fans booing the team after they draft you?
Yeah, I have it on my phone. I have it on my computer. I have that because I remember. You remember how quickly things can turn in this league. You remember how fragile fame and success is. When they drafted me, the whole place booed. The whole city kind of wondered who I was. They wanted somebody else, they booed. And I remember when I got to the airport in Houston, and the guy at the airport line when I was going through security saw I was wearing a Texans shirt, and he was like, hey, you see, you Texans fan? I said, yeah. He said, I hope that big white guy that they drafted is good. And I kind of looked at him. I couldn't tell if he was serious or not. He literally had no clue who I was. And I was like, yeah, I hope so too. And I just went on my way. And so, like, I'll always remember that. I'll always remember the fans booing me. I'll always remember people wondering if I'd be good. And my whole goal when I saw that for the first time was, I'm going to change this city's mind. I'm going to do everything I can to take this city from hating the draft pick to hopefully loving me.
How much did it bother you at the time?
It didn't really bother me because I understood where they were coming from. I mean, I was a big white kid from Wisconsin that they didn't know a lot about, that was considered a safe draft pick in a draft full of studs. I mean, there were a lot of big names in our draft, a lot of guys from big schools that had a lot of credentials. There were a lot flashier names than I was, and so I understood. I mean, I wasn't going to get mad at them for wanting somebody else.
So it's before the NFL draft. You're at an Indianapolis train station and run into the then Texans D-line coach.
Bill Kolar. As soon as I left my meeting with Bill, I was like, well, I'm not going to get drafted by the Texans. Bill is a guy who, he tells it like it is. He tries to get underneath your skin a little bit, and he just wants to see how you react to things. So Bill came up to me in that train station at the Combine, and he was like, hey, you think you play hard? And I was like, yeah, I play hard. And he was like, you think you really give it everything you have on the field? I was like, yeah, I give everything I have on the field. He goes, you're a liar. And I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, I give everything I have on the field. He goes, bullshit. He goes, I've watched your film. He goes, I guarantee you can play harder than that. You can try harder than that. And I was like, God, like I give everything I have. I was like, that's kind of like my thing. Like I give everything I have on the field. And he was like, if you come play for me, you're gonna give every single thing that you have. And I was like, yeah, like that's what I do. He's like, not that Wisconsin bullshit. He's like, you're gonna give me everything you have. I was like, all right. And we went our separate ways, and I was like, well, probably check the Texans off because that guy doesn't seem to like me at all. And then obviously ended up getting drafted, and I kind of find out that was his thing he did with everybody just to see how you handle it. Hated him for the first year I was ever with the Texans. Like I hated him because he's hard on rookies. That's just what he does. He's very hard on rookies. He wants to get the absolute most out of you that he can. But now I love the guy. I mean, he's one of my closest friends. I love him to death because he pushes you beyond where you think you can go, and he does truly get the best out of you. So I love him to this day.
So prior to the start of the 2014 season, you signed a $100 million contract. Why did you take to Google?
To figure out what to do with that. It was me and Taylor. He was down here when I signed the contract. And I came home from work that day, and he was hanging out at my house. And I told him, I was like, we did it. Like, we got a deal done. And he was like, what'd you get? And I was like, $100 million. And
what did he say?
And we both just looked at, like, he's from Pewaukee, I'm from Pewaukee. We've been friends forever. And we both just kind of like looked at each other like, I got $100 million. It was just the craziest, stupidest grin, like, just like, this is the most absurd thing ever. And we were like, what do you do with that? And so we went online. We literally went to Google and we're like, what do rich people buy? And you know, we came across yachts and jets and cars, and I was like, I gotta buy something. I was like, you almost have to buy something. And we literally went through lists and lists, and we're like, nah, there's nothing I need. And now, obviously, I'm fortunate enough to, you know, have some cool things, but still, I don't know if I've really done anything like terribly outlandish.
I know your mom's very involved in your finances and accounting. Why was that important to you?
Because she'll always keep me grounded. She'll always make sure I'm not doing anything stupid. She is the, you know, she worked her way up from being a secretary at her company to being the vice president of her company. She is so organized, she's so smart, she's so well versed in so many different aspects of life. For her to be looking over me, nobody else has my best interests in mind the way that a mom does. So she is the #1 person I always go to for anything, because she wants what's best for me first. And in a world where everybody wants a piece of you, everybody wants your money, everybody wants your name, everybody wants to use you, there's really only 2 people that truly have the best interest for me at heart out there, and that's my mom and dad, so that's why I go to them for everything.
What do you think they taught you about money growing up?
Be smart with it, because it doesn't last forever. You know, I think as we went along throughout this process, and as we kind of started to realize that I may have a chance to make a lot of money, they kind of taught me what's important in life and what matters and what doesn't matter, you know. I think we kind of realized, like, I want to make sure I took care of myself, my family, and then set myself up for success in the future, because we know the stats. Like, we know that whatever it is, 87% of NFL players are divorced or broke within 3 years. So I want to make sure I set myself up and my future kids up for success, and that's what we're doing now.
Good morning, Trista.
Good morning, Trista.
Hope you're having a wonderful morning. We're just hanging out listening to a conversation with JJ Watt and Graham Bensinger. That's right. We got a little bit left here. Here we go.
How much does football consume your mind?
It depends on the day. It consumes a lot of it, but it consumes, over the years I've learned how to let it consume my mind at the right times. You know, there was a point in my life where football consumed every waking second of my life.
And I mean, from what I've read about you, it seems like it still does.
It still has a lot.
Okay.
It still has a lot, but I think I'm learning, over the last few years, I've learned how to be better about making sure I enjoy everything. Because there was definitely a time where I let football rule my whole life, my whole existence. And you sacrifice everything else because you don't enjoy where you are. You know, one thing I talked about with Taylor is there's no point in getting to the top of the mountain if you don't stop and look around and enjoy the view. So he always reminds me of that. It's like, hey man, like, take a second, look around, see what you've created, see what you've done. This is unbelievable. But I'll never let myself sit in that moment for too long, because there's more mountain to climb.
The couple days leading up to a football game that you're playing in, how fired up will you get?
I don't get as fired up as I think you would think I do.
Okay.
Because it's all about the preparation. And the closer I get to the game, the more the preparation actually dwindles. So the beginning of the week is by far where I spend the most time studying the other team, learning about them, focusing on their tips, their keys, what I can get. And obviously I practice throughout the week. And then you start to, as the week goes on, I've put in the work, I've put in the time. My mindset switches from, okay, they do this, they do that, I need to stop this, I need to stop that, to by about Friday, Saturday, it becomes, they have to stop me. I've learned everything I can about them, I know everything about them, but let's be honest here, they have to stop me. They have a bigger challenge in stopping me than I do in stopping them. And that's the mindset that's gonna make you great.
Why do you think you're at your best in the biggest moments?
Because somebody has to be. Why not? Those are the moments that make history. Those are the moments that everybody remembers. Those are the moments that change momentum for a team, change momentum for a city.
Do you feel the pressure in those moments?
I don't feel pressure, no. There's a lot of times where somebody, whether it be a coach, whether it be a teammate, they come up to me and say, hey, it's time to make a play. I think that's one of the major reasons why I'm fortunate enough to have success, is because I honestly believe I'm going to make every single play. Now, obviously, I don't make every single play, but when that opportunity comes, that there is a chance for me to make the play, I make it. That's why I want to stay on the field for every single play. That's why I never want to be on the sidelines. That's why I want to play on special teams and everything, because I want to make every single play there is.
Describe what beast mode is.
That's the mode that you go into when it's time to take over everything, time to take over the game. Nobody can stop you. There's not a single person, there's not a single scheme, there's not anything that's going to stop you from getting the ball. That's my job, is to get the ball. At the end of the day, I'm paid a whole lot of money to chase around a little brown football.
Explain what jab and go is and why it's risky.
Who's giving you your information? It's basically a technique where you fool the offensive lineman. If you're quick enough, you fool him into thinking you're going one way, and then you go right behind him to taking a different path to get to the ball carrier. And it's very risky because you can get yourself, you're technically getting out of your gap in order to make a play. And if you don't make that play, you're really hurting yourself, you're hurting the defense. But it's one of the most successful things that I've been able to do, because you have to have a certain quickness, you have to have a certain knowledge, and you have to do it at the right time. So that's where calculated risks come into play. For me, it's all about taking a calculated risk, knowing basically your percentage of success, and deciding whether or not it's worth it. And I'll never put my defense in a bad situation. I'll never put my team in a situation where I feel like I've harmed us. Now, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to take some chances and miss, but I'm going to win way more of those than I lose. And I think that you have to be the right player. You have to have the right coaches who trust you, and you have to have the right players behind you who are going to help you if you do screw up. But that's why I train so hard, to make sure that in those situations I'm ready.
If, some kids watching this and kind of doubting themselves and their ability, what advice would you give?
I think the first piece of advice that I would give would be to enjoy where you are now. I think even here in the NFL today, if I could go back to high school and relive my high school days, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Because it was one of the most fun times of my life, and the relationships that you build and the people that you're around every single day, that's the most important thing ever. So I think it's learn to enjoy and embrace where you are in life right now. And then the other thing I would say is to make the most out of every single moment of every day. One of the best things somebody told me once was, look at your day in 10-minute increments. Write down on a piece of paper your day in every 10 minutes what you did for that 10 minutes. And then look at how many of those 10-minute increments you wasted. And then sit down for the next day and figure out how you're going to waste less 10-minute increments. So the more productive you can make your day, the more effective you can make your day, the better you're going to be in the end. And if you're looking to make a big dream come true, start with the big dream. What's your biggest dream? If it's playing in the NFL, it's playing in the NFL. Okay, how do I get there? Well, I'd probably get drafted. That'd be better than not drafted. How do you get drafted? I want to get drafted in the first round is my best option. So what did the top defensive end in the first round get? What was his 40 time? How big was he? How fast was he? How strong was he? Okay, how do I accomplish those numbers? Well, I need to get in the weight room. Okay. So how can I get in the weight room and improve my speed, my agility, my strength today? What can I do today to improve that? Well, it's going to also involve nutrition. So how can I eat properly? So it's a process. You take the big dream and you break it down to its simplest form. What can I do today to make myself better? And once you break everything down into that and you do those things, that's when you have big time success. It's not about just chasing a massive dream. It's about what are you going to do today to make your dream come true.
Going into, I guess, your senior year of high school, you get mono. How does that affect your college stock? And then explain kind of the back and forth you went through with your college decision because of coaches leaving or getting fired.
Well, obviously, when you have mono, I couldn't I couldn't participate in any camps. And, you know, at that time with recruiting, it was all about what you did in camp. And since I couldn't go to any camps, I didn't get a chance to prove myself to any coaches, didn't get a chance to go face-to-face with coaches. So that was tough, and it definitely, you know, put a damper on my recruiting process. And obviously you send out your game film, and I still was fortunate to get offers. But I feel like, you know, there could have been more. So I ended up committing to Central Michigan and Brian Kelly, sitting in his office talking to him. And then I go home, and as soon as I land back in Wisconsin, I see Brian Kelly's going to Cincinnati. And I was like, well, man, that sucks. So I reopened up my commitment.
That'd be crazy. I mean,
no, it was
literally
crazy.
for
Yeah,
having that.
you literally, yeah, you're sitting in his office talking about, you know, big things and all these great things you want to accomplish, and then the next minute you're like, well, I guess those things are out the window. That was kind of my first real taste of college recruiting, where, okay, this is a business. It's not, they're not buddy-buddy, it's not your family. Like, this is a business. And so then I reopened my commitment. I visited, you know, a whole bunch of schools. Ended up committing to Minnesota, Glen Mason. And they played Texas Tech in the bowl game, and they gave up like a 40-point comeback, and they ended up losing in overtime, like 44-41. And he got fired. So I'm sitting there like, man, like, this sucks. Like, both the coaches I was going to play for are leaving, so I go up and visit Minnesota. The new coach there, I went up to the offices, and nobody really like said hi or anything. Nobody really knew who I was. Nobody seemed to care who I was. So I was kind of like, oh, I don't think I'm going to fit in very well here, because, you know, they don't even seem to care that I'm a commit or anything. They don't. So I reopened my commitment, and by that time it was late in the process. I had already had relationships with some of the players at Central Michigan from committing previously, and so I recommitted to Central Michigan and back to Butch Jones, because I wanted to start as a tight end as a freshman. That was my goal, and I did that. We won the MAC championship. I was a starting tight end. It was cool. Like, that was the dream, but it wasn't exactly how I had the dream in my head, because I was playing tight end in a spread offense, and that's not exactly the ideal situation.
Here's what's amazing to me, and I think it was even after your first game that you playing tight end for Central Michigan that you knew it just wasn't the right fit. So you're willing to give up the scholarship at Central Michigan to, per NCAA rules, have to sit out a year, only to then go to Wisconsin, to pay to go to college, and to not even be guaranteed a spot on the football team, have to walk on. So why take the risk?
I mean, there's many reasons. I remember I came out of that first game. It was at Kansas when I was at Central Michigan. I came out of the stadium. My parents were outside the buses, and I looked them right and I said, can I transfer? And they said, what do you mean? I said, I said, this isn't going to work. Like, this isn't what I envisioned. This is not how I wanted my college career to go. I want bigger, I want better. And right there, we talked about transferring to Wisconsin, and the fact that I would be giving up a full scholarship, giving up a starting position. I'd have to walk on, sit out a year. And they told me that they could afford to pay for 1 year. And they said if I was willing to do everything possible in my power to get a scholarship at Wisconsin, if I was willing to treat every single day like my Super Bowl, that they would fully support it. And I think that anybody else looking into the situation would be like, man, you're crazy. You're a starter on a MAC championship team. You have a full scholarship. Why would you give that up? But in my head, it was a gamble on myself. I was willing to put all the chips in. I was willing to gamble everything I had on myself, knowing that nobody was going to stop me from accomplishing my goal.
I know this has since become a famous story, but you did have to have a job during that time. And talk about the 6 months you spent as pizza delivery guy, and then when you delivered the pizza to a young kid who happened to know you as a football player.
I did. I delivered pizzas for 6 months during that time. Not the worst job in the world. You know, you get to deliver pizzas, you get to drive around in your car, listen to music. It's not that bad.
And make okay money.
Yeah, you're making all right money.
Right.
So it was pretty cool. And I had to gain weight at the time, so I was eating pizza on my break. Like, it was great. That's just the way it went. But yeah, there was the moment where I did deliver to a family, and the little boy answered the door, and he looked up at me and was like, Mom, J.J. Watt's here. And I had to tell him, I have your pizza. And he just looked at his mom like, you know, why is J.J. Watt delivering our pizza, you know? And for me, it was one of those moments where I just was like, this that kid's not supposed to look at me and think, how did this football player fall from grace? He's supposed to look at me like, that's J.J. Watt, like that's my idol. Like he did look at me at first. And so I wanted that feeling back, and it was just kind of a reaffirming that what I was doing in the process I was going about was right, and that everything that I was going to go through over the next year to get a scholarship, to play on the scout team, to work every single day, to sacrifice everything I had to sacrifice, that moment kind of said, it's all going to be worth it.
That's fucking great. J.J. Watt is ridiculous.
Yes.
All right, let's play a song and see where we are at with our morning. Cheers, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
We're going to dance. We're going to dance. We're going to dance and have some fun.
Dig.
The chills that you spill up my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Your groove, I do deeply dig. No walls, only the bridge. My supper dish, my succotash wish.
Sing it, baby.
I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the
Watch out.
The depth of who the groove moves us to, the end hoop. We're going through to what is a who. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. DJ Stone was on a roll. I've been told he can't be sold. He's not vicious or malicious, just lovely and delicious. I couldn't ask for another.
Something lurks in this torso. Heart got a deal you wanna know. Delightful, truly delightful. Making it, doing it, especially at a show. Feeling kinda high like a Hendrix haze. Music makes motion moves like a maze. All inside of me, heart especially. Hilt of the rhythm, where I wanna be. Come on, flowing, glowing with electric eyes. You dip to the dive, baby, you'll realize. Baby, you'll see the funk inside of me. Baby, you'll see that rhythm is the key. Get witty, can't think quitty. Stomp on the street when I hear funk group. Blue playing pop pipe, follow her to shoot. Baby, just sing about the groove.
Sing it.
Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the
Blow them on the lawn.
Groove is in the heart.
Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the
Come on, y'all deep. Y'all are crazy, man.
That's such a great song.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. But it is about that time. Go ahead and smoke one more and call it a morning show. I hope everybody's had a dope Thursday morning. Cornbread, it's all yours.
Well, much love, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for the morning show. It is a great way to get up and start your morning. Let's go. And it's Thursday. Let's go. I'm baked. Make sure you follow everybody. Make sure you're following everybody that you're interacting with. Make sure you're following everybody in the co-production team because you don't want to miss out. Let's go. Stay lifted, stay positive, and I will see y'all when I see y'all. Much love, everybody. Enjoy your morning.
Much love, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It has been a dope-ass Thursday morning. No dodgeball this afternoon, but we'll find something cool to do. Much love, Vicki B. Thank you for this day in history every day. If you need all natural fur baby treats, please reach out to Kay. They are more than made approved. Hope to see everybody this afternoon. It's gonna be a dope day. I don't know, kind of work around here, but please make sure you're following everybody on the Cove team. Make sure you're following the one and only Sir Alot. Don't miss Token Team every Tuesday night. Make sure that you are following the one and only Year of Entertainment. Don't miss out on the Year of Manigans every Sunday. Make sure that you are following Michael Hugo Manberry. Don't miss out on the vibes he brings to the shows. Make sure that you are following the one and only Mad Productions. Don't miss out on all the music he's got coming out. Make sure that you are following Kelsey Dab's Dabber Chick. Don't miss out on the Dabber Chick show and the new Method to Madness show. And make sure you are following the one and only Cornbread. Don't miss out on all the vibes she brings to the shows. Thank you to everybody that helps support Cove-TV. I'll make this possible. Cove-TV is literally brought to you by viewers like yourself. I appreciate everybody's patience and understanding. We'll get everything back to normal here as we go. Just kind of gotta work through it. Right. Adaptability. I hope everybody has an incredible rest of your day. Much love, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers, cheers.
Back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to reality, back to the here and now, yeah. Show me how, decide what you want from me. Tell me maybe I could be there for you.
Amber.
Good morning,
Good
Amber.
morning, Amber. Good morning, Scott. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Much love, everybody. We'll catch you guys later.
Much love, everybody.